Okay, so Marvel rumor that's out here, and and that's sort of like close to me, is that hey, we might be getting Agent of Shield back, and I was a big fan of Agent of Shield. I was like, I really enjoyed the very beginning seasons. I was like, I dropped off because I think they switched over to another. They wasn't on the same like network anymore. But then I started watching it again. The middle seasons were like, okay. Then I really sort of enjoyed their future path kind of thing. The first beginning tried to tie it in with the TV show. I mean, with the movies. So that was sort of cool. Then after that, they sort of just started bridging away, and sort of like the Netflix show where it's like it's an allude. I was like alluding to, but not really. Um, but then they sort of went their own route, and I would enjoy them coming back. I don't know if it. I don't know about it being the same iteration. That might be a little too much. I wouldn't mind if they brought back some of the characters. I was like, they ain't got to bring back all of them. I like they could sort of renew it. I mean, especially once you sort of do like a future path thing, and we're over here in this multiverse thing. Maybe you could finagle your way up in there. Um, but I was like, for the most part, I'm like, it still upsets me that Coulson has never been brought back, even though he's been brought back, but he died, but he not here, but he did. Uh, yeah, so I was like, I'd be down with this. I also think that this could be something really good for them in a way that the other Disney shows haven't. And not just saying like yes, it may not be Agent of Shield, but maybe it's something called something else. But to me, this should have been like probably the way that you you can introduce new people and new characters in a show that has to do with all their movies and stuff like that, but just on a different level, while also sort of like throwing them off to their next sideshow or throwing them into a movie. They're on Agent of Shield, whatever it might be called, and we get a sense of what they are. Maybe through some battle or something like that. It's like, oh, that's cool, and then we're like, oh snap, that's the person from Agent of Shield. And also, you could sort of have like you could have an Agent of Shield and say for instance like Moon Knight, where it's like it's the Moon Knight series, but they heard about a dude that was over here with in Egypt and stuff like that, and one of the characters from Agent of Shield is there, and guess what? It's a tie-in, but it's not. You don't necessarily have to watch Agent of Shield. You can watch Moon Knight, but it helps where it's like, okay, cool. He showed. I was like, he could show up here and there, and it's like, oh man, that's awesome that he's over here in our main show, but he gonna get his own show, and then he maybe show up in a movie, or I was like, or vice versa, and all this other stuff. Like I'm like, but you have one main show that could divide into other shows. I think it would have been easier if they would have did that. I don't know if it necessarily could work now. I mean, I think it could work now. Like somebody like Miss Marvel would be great on an Agent of Shield show. Um, like just I was like just her spontaneity with everything. Or if you think about it, or if Aiden Shields over here like, oh, I gotta go talk to a lawyer. Boom, She-Hulk. And guess what? She's over here for like half a season or something like that. Maybe helps him out with a mission. And then in there, you introduce her a bit or whatever like that. Boom, she got a show coming out. Oh, that's crazy. I want to see one more lawyer, and she does. Um, yeah, I was like, and there's some shows that like Loki would have never been connected to this. I was like, Secret Invasion could have been. Um, you know, like so. I'm like, you could do things in it to where you don't have to cast all your stuff to everything to where like you might be able to like get a sense of like, oh, how did they react to She-Hulk and Agent of Shield? Not too much. Oh, okay, cool. We might not give her a show. We might just keep throwing her back here and see how that goes. Like I'm just saying, I'm just thinking of possible ways if they brought back the show or whatever like that. I think it'd be tricky to do with the Inhuman stuff. I mean, I don't think it'd be crazy tricky. We brought back Black Bolt or whatever, so I was like bringing Daisy in might not seem that big of a thing to do. But I was like, you would just have to rework the show because at the end of the show, like basically planet sort of like gets destroyed, but it doesn't. Is a whole thing. Um, Yeah, I was like, but I'd be down for whatever version this could be. But also, I'm like, I wonder if we're too far gone now to have it. I mean, we still got people with boots on the ground, so maybe. So I was like, maybe there's a way to do it. I was like, look, I was like, I'm just saying, I feel like if we're canceling a lot of these shows here, but you created one big ass version of whatever Agent of Shield is, then you can just plug most of those people into Agent of Shield. Like, guess what? I was like, we're probably gonna get it, but Ironheart, Riri Williams, if she was over here, was in the program where she was one of them scientists, I forget like the two people, but on like Shield, then you can see like, oh, she like she went back home or something like that, or she's like, she was too much, and then she start that series over there. I'm just saying, maybe I'm just doing too much over here, but I'll be down for it. What about you? Did you like it? Did you not like Agent of Shield or any of the bullshit I said? Um, yeah, let me know. I was like, I'm excited about if it becomes a thing, it can always become more. So let me know. Until then, I'm out.